What up? Welcome back. I know it's been a couple of days. I'm actually in the process of trying to get a new camera because this one is not meeting the requirements that I wanted initially. Yeah, it's sort of laggy. I don't know if you noticed in my previous videos, but whatever. So that's coming soon. So I was trying to hold out, but I don't want the days to get too backed up. So we had a couple of good trades yesterday and today that I want to go over. So we will start with yesterday. So let me adjust this. So this was yesterday, the 21st, and we always go through our prerequisites. Um, this Asia right here, of course, London was pretty bullish. What we see here on the chart was a overnight A plus setup. These have been absolutely killer the past, I think, 6 weeks now, 6 or 7 weeks now. For any of those who actually stay up during that time, you can catch some very, very, very nice moves. As you can see, this one came out the zone, went back in the zone, crossed 50 and VWAP, made structure with a gap, took the gap entry, and this one reached the maximum of TP3, which would have been, yep, it reversed right at TP3 for about 2,000 bucks. If you took that, I did not, but I just wanted to draw it out for you. So what we did take, however, was this sell that happened, even though the bias was bullish, but it was bullish for so long. And I always try to tell people that whenever you see a very, very long trend, meaning one that lasted from overnight all the way up until like sort of pre-market time for New York, um, there's a good chance that New York is going to take some of that back. New York is very greedy. They don't want anybody else to win, especially another country. And you know how that goes. So I was kind of expecting it to play a part in this. And it worked out pretty nicely. So what we had here initially was this chop box. So this is the first strat. If you look at the title, we won on 3 different strategies. And this is the first one. So this is the chop box right here. We had some, where was it at? Yeah, right here. So we had this chop box that formed like this little consolidation area. Not really counting up here, but I did like this consolidation right here. So it would have looked something like this. And at the time, I want to say that the actual daily line was like right around here somewhere. Let me move this off the chart. So it was right around here somewhere. Um, So yeah, that played very, very nicely. So you had this chop box, and we actually had another one that was right here. You can see it started, made a little move, started consolidating right there. But this one, not so much that I rather take. But what we did like was this one, but it happened before 925. And if you know anything about the 925 candle, you know that that candle kind of just goes whichever way it wants to go, right? So we had this break. It was given a nice little push down, then it sort of slowed up, continued down more. And I was telling people that I did not want to take this trade unless it was after 925. That's pretty much what all my morning trades. It's always going to be after 925. So price, in fact, did come back up to here, and we took the exact same entry that we would have taken prior to 925, but we had to wait for this candle right here. So as soon as this candle opened right here at 925, it just sort of shot all the way up there. And when I saw that, okay, boom, we put our order on, and it looked like this. Um, Stop loss would have been above the box. Entry was below the box. like that. So this one actually hit. Entry was right there. I want to say TP was somewhere in here. There was one right here, and then there was a runner that hit down to there. But anyway, we hit this one for, I want to say it was like 800 or 700, something like that. But it was a great trade. A lot of people caught it. For those who didn't catch it, there was another setup. This is the second strategy. The first one was this one was chop box, and then we have the fan favorite, which was the A plus. Now this A plus did in fact take a bit of time to play out, and it was a very hefty stop loss. But in situations like this, you can always take it on micros if you choose. So what do we have? We have price came in the zone, as you can see here, came out of this zone with all these candles on the top side of it. We crossed over 50 and VWAP right here, and we made structure. So the first time that it actually came through the zone and back out, and keep in mind, it has to be after 10 a.m. That's when we look. So after this blue line, you can see that price came out and then came back out the zone. At this point right here, this candle closed right here, closed above here. And after that point, we're going to look for the first gap after that, because we had already had four confluences now. The zone, coming out of the zone, crossing over 50, crossing over VWAP, and making structure. That's 4. If you include wait until after 10 a.m., that's 5. And if you include the gap, that's 6. So 6 confluences right there. That's what makes A plus very good, because it takes a lot for you to be able to actually enter into the trade. And then we just look for the first gap. So you have to have a pretty well trained eye to see it, or you can use an indicator to actually see the first bullish gap. Since we're looking for longs, we need a bullish gap. And it would have been nice to have a gap over here, but it was pretty choppy starting out. So the first gap actually wasn't until right there. So after that happened, price took us into the trade. Let's see how much drawdown this entire trade took. So we entered here at the top. This is the maximum drawdown we were in, which was $660. Pretty hefty. Again, if your account's not able to handle that type of drawdown, you can always just switch to micros. We ended up hitting TP1 around 12:37, and we would have entered this trade around 10:47, so almost 2 hours there. We did hit TP1 for about 1850, and then it sort of just played sideways, and then it actually ended up not hitting TP2, but it got pretty close. After the market reopened, it in fact did hit TP2, and then continued up quite a bit higher. But the 1850 was all that it gave us today. So still great profits overall. Actually, did this one hit TP2 after that? Yeah, that hit TP2, TP3, TP4, and TP5. Yeah, eventually it would hit TP5, but you can't hold futures positions overnight currently. Maybe that might be changing in the future, but it's all good. So today, this is the third strategy, which is the daily strat. Today, we only had just one trade. These blue lines are the unmitigated levels. We don't have any current dailies, which are the pink lines. They are all below us. There's 3 right there, and the 4th one is all the way down there. So we only had these unmitigated levels to play with. That's why they are very important to have on your charts. So right here, we had nice bullish momentum. Overnight was extremely bullish, so we were trying to continue that trend. especially with the new administration in the office, like the president, his cabinet members. We were expecting the market to be a little bit more uh, liquid, but it still hasn't set in yet. I don't know if they're waiting for something or what, but we're expecting some sort of big reactions to sort of happen at some point in time. So right now, we had this set up, which was the daily strat, and the daily strat is just waiting until after the open or around 9:27, which is still after the 9:25 candle, and you're waiting for structure, which structure happened on this candle right here, right there. It closed above this line and this line, so that's definitely confirmation of structure. And you're waiting for a gap towards one of the daily levels. So here's the gap. This is just price coming in to put us into the trade. And this was the target right here. So we put our limit order in as soon as the gap closed. So the candle would have been up here at the time. It came back down to tap us into the trade. We were in some drawdown, which was around 400 bucks. And then we targeted here, this first unmitigated, for around 860-ish dollars. So a very great trade. And it hit. And yeah, a lot of people made some good money. And I think price just sort of continued up and down. Yeah, it went more bullish. So that went along with our bias. And yeah, overall, these past few days have been pretty good. A lot of people are making money, not even with just NQ. Juvier called out a YM trade, which was a banger. It hit TP3. Canary, our crypto coach, has been calling out bangers every single day, all day, 1,000%, 2,000%, 5,000% winners all day. So yeah, it's pretty much all I have. It's been a great week so far. We're going to try to keep up the vibes. And if you want to trade with us, there will be a link down in the description. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I will catch you in the next video.